Hey y'all, it's your girl Mego, and we are back with another video. Y'all already know what we here to do, y'all, so let go! Alright y'all, so as you guys can see by the title of this video, it is going to be a little story time. A story time about how I got injured at work and got a mild y'all, okay? Mild concussion, okay? So sit on your bed, go in a recliner chair, recline your seat back, get some popcorn, get your soda, water, tea, whatever you want to drink, bring it to you wherever you at, get comfortable, because it's going to be an interesting yet embarrassing story. I'll wait. Let me know when y'all comfortable. Let me know when y'all situated. You know, I'm laid back, got my stitch blanket, y'all already know what's up. Alright, let me stop. But so y'all, this incident, whatever you want to call it, it took place last week, last Wednesday, the 20th to be exact. I should remember that date. But so yeah, y'all already know I work at a school, an elementary school, and y'all already know that I do aftercare. So last week, it was a good week. Megan was cruising. Picture me driving. I had my seat reclined back, arm on the steering wheel. Now right here, boom, boom, just riding. It was a good week. It was a good week. It was the last week. That was a full week. We had Monday off. I was looking forward to that Monday off. I was good. Monday, Tuesday, we were golden, right? No problems. Then Wednesday rolls along. And Wednesday morning, throughout my day, it was fine. Good. My kids were good. Everything was going great. I go in for aftercare. I sign in on the iPad, you know, clock in, go in and get my kids, because from 2:30 when I clock in to 3, I have 7th grade and I take them outside. But everyone in the group in aftercare is outside until 3, so it's all grades. But it's different because kindergarten and 2nd grade, they go to like the little kid playground. Oh no, I'm sorry, kindergarten through 1st goes to the little kid playground. And then 2nd through 5th goes to like the field, the basketball court, stuff like that. And so I checked on my kids in, you know, again, regular day, regular business. And I grabbed all my kids. We're going out, right? We're going out to the basketball court, chilling. My friend and I who do wow, my English, y'all. My friend and I who do aftercare together, we have like a little like spot by a tree that we stand at and like watch our groups and stuff. And then we have like a couple of kids that are older, like in 5th grade, who want to just hang out and talk with us. So that's where we were at. We were like right here, right? And the way my school is, so here's where me and my friend were at with like the group of kids, right? Just talking. Behind us, like a little patch of grass with like a bigger tree, like over here. But they're not allowed to play over here because like I said, there's a huge field this way and this way, okay? And in between the big field this way and this way is a big basketball court. Again, there's all this space for these kids to play. All right, keep that in mind. So, like I said, I was standing here, little patch of grass here, and I was just chilling, talking with my kids, my friends, and I had happened to move over to like directly in front of where the little grass patch was, and there was a student who was in that little patch of grass. And I didn't really see him. And he decided to, you know, because kids are smart. Yeah. He decided with his lovely self to, instead of picking up the basketball and like throwing it to the side, he decides to kick the basketball. And mind you, a hard, brand new basketball. Keep that in mind also. And like I said, I was standing here and he was standing right here. Did I see him get ready to kick the ball? No, I didn't. Like I said, I didn't even know he was there. And he had a dodgeball in his hand that you are supposed to kick. But he decided to throw that ball, but then kick the basketball. Where this kid's brain is, don't ask me, I don't know. So when he kicked the ball, like I said, he was like 5 feet next to me. 10 feet the most. And he kicked it and it just wham. Like it hit me all this side of my head right here. And it didn't really knock me all the way to the ground, but it definitely knocked me off my feet. And based off of my friend who was standing there and the other kids that were there, they said like my head went all the way to the back. And like I said, my body followed. Like it was just a doof, doof, doof. Like, and that just went downhill from there. After I got hit, obviously I was disoriented. Didn't really know what happened, where I was at for a second. Everyone swarmed me and was like, are you okay? 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 Like, not even giving me a chance to breathe and like collect myself. Cause I was like, a lot just happened just then. And because I was stumbling on my feet, my friend, thank God she was there. She sent 2 5th graders to walk with me up to the front. Thankfully, where we were at, the front is not far from where we are. So she just had them walk with me, like in case I were to pass out, which you never know with head injuries, but she was better safe than sorry, which I'm grateful for. The 5th graders walked me over to the front, and we're just walking, and I'm just still holding my head, because at this point, like, my head is starting to pound. I started getting nauseous. I was very lightheaded, dizzy, kind of still disoriented a little bit. And as we were walking, my supervisor, who was down by the kindergarten playground, she radioed and was like, why is Miss Megan walking to the front? And, you know, thankfully my friend was like, because she just got hit in the head hard by a basketball, they're going to get some ice. So I walk in to the front and we go back to the cafeteria where our little first aid kit is for aftercare. We go over there, y'all, there's no ice. The cooler is empty. And so I'm like, fuck. Like, at this point, my head is like picture a migraine, but like, it's just like one-sided. And it's just pounding. And I was like, I need ice. And so luckily the 5th graders ran to the front office, because here's the cafeteria, here's the front office. So you just walk right down that hallway. And luckily there was still someone in the front office and was able to help get ice. They thought it was for a child, and I'm like, no, it's for me. Hey girl, what's up? And so, because it hit me on this side of my head, y'all, it also hit my ear. And initially my ear was the one thing that was hurting me the most. And it was very red. So I started putting on the ice, and then I went to go sit down, and I sent them back outside. But then the other group started coming in, because at that point they're like, you know what, let's just wrap it up. So they all come in, you know, everyone starts coming into the cafeteria. And at that point I sat down, and that's when it really hit me, and like all my symptoms started coming, like the nausea really bad, the lightheadedness, the dizziness, the headache, the pounding of my head. Like, it was just a lot going on, and it all hit me at once. And, you know, the counselors kept coming in, and they were making sure I was okay. And the supervisor, like I said, she walked back in. She walks over to talk to me, and I go to stand up, y'all. I go to stand up, and I'm thinking in my head, like, you know when you get hurt and you're trying to like play it off, like, nah, I'm good, y'all. I'm Gucci gang. Like, I'm like, nah, I'm gonna be fine. It's just gonna be a bad headache. I'm cool. So that's why I go to stand up. When I go to stand up and walk towards my supervisor, I get up and I fall to my side. And luckily when I fall, there was the cafeteria table that caught me. So I fall, and she grabs my left side and sits me back down. And then she was like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. She's like, we're gonna call it in. And those of you who have a job, or parents or siblings have a job, there's this thing called workers' comp. And that's pretty much where you call when you fall or get hurt at work. They can cover you for doctor's visits if you have to have an ambulance come and get you. Whatever the case may be, they're going to cover it and come get you no matter what. So she gives me the phone number. She gives me paper to fill out. Fill it all out, call the number, let them know what's going on. I'm thinking they're going to let me go, like go home, and they're going to tell me what's wrong and where to go. The lady, after I give her my information, she's like, oh, I'm going to call you back in 20 minutes.
Come again?
A lot of other people also are on the line, and we got to make sure they're okay. And I'm sitting here to myself thinking, I just got hit in the head. Y'all, I could be bleeding internally. I could pass out at any given time. Like, y'all just gonna say, oh, okay, wait, pause, I'll be back. I'm like, okay, Sally, thanks. So I just hang up, and then I go to my supervisor, and I hand her my paper, and she just basically said, you know what, go home. She was like, don't even worry about it. Wherever they send you, go, and just keep me posted. So I start to go, and as I go to my car and I start driving out of this parking lot, they call me back. And the triage nurse from Workers' Comp calls me, and she's very panicked, and that kind of makes me panic a little bit because, again, I'm still feeling what I'm feeling, but it's kind of going away a little bit, but not much. And she was like, why are you driving home? And I said, because my boss told me I need to go. And she was like, oh no, I was going to send an ambulance to come get you. And I was like, I don't need an ambulance. Like, I can drive myself home. I'm good. Anyway, she was like, you need to go to the ER. And I was like, come again? And she was like, you need to go to the ER. And I was like, okay. So she sent me to the nearest ER. She said, I want to get you a CT scan. And I was like, holy shit. Like, is my injury that bad? Like, and she said, based off my symptoms, you have a concussion. And I was like, damn. Like, basketball? Like, I got my ass cracked by a basketball? You know how embarrassing that sounds? Anyway, so I go to the hospital, right? The hospital that I go to is this is not a good hospital. I have not been a patient there, but I've had family members in my past go there, and it was just not, the nurses there were just not great. The hospital itself is closed, but the ER is still open. So I kind of already knew going into the ER, I was not going to get the best service. But I go in, and luckily it wasn't a long wait. I got in right in, because they had already sent in my information and kind of like pushed me more to like the important patient. So I get in, and the nurse starts asking questions, taking the vitals, and she said, all right, sit tight, the doctor will be back. The doctor comes in like 20 minutes later, maybe not even, I don't remember, but it was maybe like 15 minutes. And the doctor, who's supposed to have a degree, comes in, and he was like, you don't need a CT scan. And in my head, I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, because you're not over the age of 65, because you're not on blood thinners, and because you don't drink consecutively, you don't need a CT scan. And in my head, I'm like, what kind of dumb excuses are those? Isn't it medical protocol that for a head injury, you must give a CT scan? But I was so much in pain, y'all, that I was like, just get me out of here. Like, I didn't have any medicine on me at the time to take for my headache. My friends that know me well, they know I always stay with medicine in my backpack for headaches especially. But that day I had finished it before on Tuesday, and I hadn't replenished it. So my head was killing me. So I was like, all right, just get me home. They sent me home, whatever. The triage nurse also told me to call out of work the next day. So I had called out, put in for a sub, whatever. And that Thursday, I was supposed to go to workers' comp doctor to get cleared to go back to work. So I come home from the ER, and I took 2 Tylenols, showered, went to bed. Like, my head was just... and slept like a baby, right? Get up the next day, go to the doctor. I walk into the office, chilling, just walking in, you know? My head was still hurting, but I'm walking in, right? And I get in, whatever. The doctor comes in and was like, telling me about what or asking me about what happened. I'm telling her what happened, whatever, filling her in. She asked if I went to the ER. I said, yeah. And she said they take a CT scan. Y'all, when I told this doctor I did not take a CT scan, she was shocked. Which I understand, because like I said before, it was protocol. You need to take a CT scan for any kind of head injury. And so when I told her the reasoning as to why the doctor told me I don't need a CT scan, she was even more infuriated. So she then left my room, mind you, still at her office, and told me to go. She's going to go to the phone, and she's going to make a phone call. She makes a phone call, and I'm probably in the room no longer than 10 minutes before she comes back. She comes back with paperwork, and she says, you're going to this location, you're getting a CT scan, stat. But she said they don't have any availability until 4 in the afternoon. And I was like, okay, I'll come back, whatever. Now, mind you, I did forget an important part. The doctor at the ER also did tell me, before he discharged me, he also did tell me, based on your symptoms, you have a concussion, right? Now, how you can tell I have a concussion without a CT scan blows my mind. Like, at this rate, I don't have no degree. I didn't go to medical school, but clearly, based on this doctor, I don't need a degree. I could put me in scrubs and give me a hospital badge, and I will walk right into a triage room, and I will be like, you know what? Based off your arm hanging on by a thread, I could tell you need an amputation. See that? If the medical field was that easy, baby, I could deuces. I'll be going working in the hospital right here, right now. Okay? So keep that in mind. He just magically said I had a concussion with no CT scan. So now I'm going home from the workers' comp doctor, and I'm waiting until 4 to go back down to where the doctor was to get a CT scan. Now, again, like I told y'all, my head was still hurting. My headache lasted me about almost a week from this whole ordeal. And it was only on one side of my head. And it lasted me almost a week. And I'm not the one to take medicine 2 or 3 times in a day. I try to wait it out. And I'm not saying that I did that this go around, but I was like, oh my God, it was the worst pain ever. I would say by day 5, my headache was just kind of minor. I could just ignore it and just sleep and it'll go away. But then when I went to work and started working again, it started to come back. But now it finally has gone, and I'm thankful. But yeah, so I go back down to get a CT scan. And the reason why I said medication, y'all, is because when I left the doctor's office at 12 before my CT scan, they told me that I could not take any medication besides Tylenol. Now, Tylenol does not work for me. I don't know what beef Tylenol and I have. Every single time I take Tylenol, they're like, oh, you need me to work for your pain? No. And it never works at all. Aleve, same thing. It just is nah, homie, this ain't it. You can go ahead and suffer. The only thing that works for my headaches, y'all can ask anybody who's personal in my life. Or what did I just say? Anyone who knows me on a personal note knows that the only thing that I take for headaches, and I don't take them very often, is BC powders. I will post a picture of them here, maybe, or down below. Somewhere on the screen, you will see a BC powder, okay? I take those, and those work every time. They are powder form, obviously, so that's why they work faster. Because when you pop a pill, your stomach acids and all that lovely stuff in there have to break down the pill. And then it just, no. I want it to be I take it, boom, pain's gone. So BC powders, every single time they work. But because BC powders are a blood thinner, I could not take them. Because I'm going to get my CT scan I mean, they're not a blood thinner. They are anti-inflammatory. Y'all, it's been such a week. My mind is just done. It's already on Saturday. But anyway, it's a anti-inflammatory. So when you are going for a CT scan, you obviously got hit in the head, right? Your body's natural response is to swell. And if you take an anti-inflammatory before going to see what damage was done, the swelling will go down and they can't really tell, the extent of your injury, if y'all catch my drift. So I had to take Tylenol, and that just did not work. So I was in pain from like the morning till about like 6 o'clock in the evening, before I could take something that actually worked. But anyway, bottom line, went to my CT scan. I was in, I was out. It was my first CT scan. Hopefully I never have to have one again. They also cleared me for work the next day, which I was kind of upset about, because I was like, dang, I could have had a 4-day weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And actually would have been fun. I would have been golden. But no, they said, you are good to go. Yay! So I went back to work Friday. I obviously just took it easy. Everyone was shocked that I was back. I was welcomed back to work. Everyone was like, oh, I'm so glad you're happy. I'm so glad you're good. Asking me how I was, things like that. But yeah, it was definitely an interesting week last week. Then I will say the symptoms, like the nausea, the dizziness, the lightheadedness, that lasted till about Friday. And then that went away. But the headache was what lasted the longest. But that's pretty much the story time. Y'all are free to comment whatever y'all want. It's definitely something that happened to me. It was interesting. I've been hit in the head before. In middle school, we were playing a volleyball game, like in a circle, and someone decided to spike the volleyball and spiked it and spiked my face. And I got hit head on like this by a volleyball. And that didn't do much, but a basketball, I guess, I got my ass whooped by a basketball. So, yeah. Y'all don't do that. Don't do what I did. Don't kick basketballs. Kids, if you're watching, don't do it. Not fun. Okay, there are other balls you can kick. Soccer balls, kickballs, dodgeballs. Basketballs, play with your hands. Shoot it like Kobe. Don't kick it. I tried kicking a basketball. I don't know how he did, because it hurt the fuck out of my foot. So I don't even know how he kicked it and not even hurt himself. Basketballs, I don't understand. The kid felt horrible though. I felt bad because he was crying and very sincere and genuine about it. My boss did write him up for it just because it is a rule at our school, and he had to get a consequence. So, but yeah, that's my first story time for y'all. Got a concussion by a basketball. Hopefully never have to go through that again in life. That was not enjoyable, but hey, first time for everything, right? But yeah, y'all, I also want to shout out that my last video that I posted for y'all, the one with my best friend, it is doing fantastic. It is almost at 500 views. I want to thank every single one of y'all. Again, I'm gaining a lot of subscribers, so I want to thank you guys so much for that as well. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying my content so far. Again, like I always tell you, please comment. If it's not on my comments on YouTube, you can DM me, you can write on my Instagram comments, you can Snapchat me, TikTok me, all the aboves, and let me know what y'all want to see. I was actually kind of stuck about what I was going to post until I'm like, oh, I can do a story time. But yeah, let me know what y'all want to see. Again, thank you for choosing to be on this journey with me. And always remember, also before I end the video, look at my nails. Aren't they pretty? I love them. I love them. But always remember that you are loved, you are important, you are valued, you are beautiful, you are handsome, you are a king, you are a queen, and the world is a better place simply because you are in it. And always remember to spread kindness and love. The world needs it now more than ever. So with that, y'all, this is going to conclude the story time. And with much love for all of you. And I will catch y'all on the next one.